Good morning, students. Today in this video we will discuss a very important topic, which is sexually transmitted infections, and it is also known as sexually transmitted disease. So sometime question will come from that what is the full form of STD. So answer should be sexually transmitted disease. So how this sexually transmitted disease they spread from one person to another person. So first of all we'll discuss the definition of STD. So infections or diseases which are transmitted through sexual intercourse are collectively called as sexually transmitted infection or STD. So those infection or those diseases which are transmitted through sexual intercourse, so only such disease or such infections are known as sexually transmitted infection or sexually transmitted disease. And sexually transmitted disease, they are also known as venereal disease, they are also known as reproductive tract infection. So these are very important. That question will come that what are the two other names for sexually transmitted disease. So it is venereal disease and it is also known as reproductive tract infection. From here also question can come what is the full form of RTI. Then we have to write reproductive tract infection. So now we will discuss some common sexually transmitted disease. So commonly there are 8 sexually transmitted disease which are given in NCERT book, and they are gonorrhea, syphilis, genital herpes, chlamydiasis, genital wart, trichomoniasis, hepatitis B, and of course the most discussed infection in the recent years, HIV leading to AIDS, are some of the common STD. So I hope that it is clear the 8 sexually transmitted disease which commonly affect any person. So among these, HIV infection is most dangerous. Out of these 8 sexually transmitted disease, so which one will be the most dangerous? So answer will be the HIV AIDS. So what is the full form of HIV? So HIV means human immunodeficiency virus. Some of these infections like hepatitis B and HIV can also be transmitted by sharing of injection needles, surgical instruments with infected persons, transfusion of blood, or from an infected mother to the fetus too. So out of those common sexually transmitted disease, that hepatitis B and HIV AIDS, so these two they can also be transmitted from one person to another person by sharing of injection needles and surgical instrument with that infected person, by blood transfusion with the infected person, and from the infected mother to the fetus. Apart from the sexual contact with the infected person, this hepatitis B and HIV AIDS, it can also be transmitted by these three methods also. Except for hepatitis B, genital herpes, and HIV infections, other diseases are completely curable if detected early and treated properly. So, this hepatitis B, genital herpes, and HIV AIDS. So, these three sexually transmitted disease, they are incurable. If any person will suffer from these sexually transmitted disease, then it is incurable, it cannot be cured. But apart from these three, the other sexually transmitted disease, they are completely curable. But there is one condition: if those sexually transmitted disease, if they will be detected earlier and treated properly, then 100% those sexually transmitted disease, they are curable. So question will come that name the three sexually transmitted disease which are incurable. So answer should be hepatitis B, genital herpes, and HIV AIDS. Now early symptoms of most of these are minor and include itching, fluid discharge, slight pain, swelling in the genital region. So these are the early symptoms which will be common to all the sexually transmitted disease, and these early symptoms will be the itching, fluid discharge, slight pain, swelling in the genital region. So simply question will come, write the symptoms of the early symptoms of the sexually transmitted disease. Then we have to write all these points. Now, infected females may often be asymptomatic and hence may remain undetected for long time. So, generally in case of female, what will happen, that male they produce some symptoms of that sexually transmitted disease, but in case of human female, what we observe that human female in most of the cases they remain asymptomatic. Asymptomatic means without any symptoms. So for much time, that for long time they don't show any symptoms of sexually transmitted disease, and this is the reason because of which they remain undetected, or this disease they remain undetected for long time. So absence or less significant symptoms in the early stage of infection and the social stigma attached to the STD deter the infected persons from going for timely detection and proper treatment. So mainly that person who suffer from sexually transmitted disease, so why they don't able to consult doctor on time? So there are two reasons which inhibit them for doing so. First one is that in most of the cases the symptoms of STD they remain unnoticed, unnoticeable for long time, and the social stigma about the this social stigma it also play a very important role, because of which any person they fear to consult any doctor, that if any if any person will know about this disease, then what they will think of myself. So this is all social stigma, that any person they don't want to go and consult to a particular concerned doctors. So this could lead to complications later, which include pelvic inflammatory disease, abortions, stillbirths, ectopic pregnancies, infertility, or even cancer of the reproductive tract. So due to the social stigma or the asymptomatic condition of the sexually transmitted disease, the person at right time they don't able to consult the doctor, and due to this it leads to complications, and these complications it includes pelvic inflammatory disease, abortion, stillbirth, ectopic pregnancy. It can lead to infertility and even cancer of the reproductive tract. So what is pelvic inflammatory disease? So, pelvic inflammatory disease is an infection of females, and in most of the cases, that infection is mainly seen in the upper reproductive organs, including the uterus, fallopian tube, and ovaries. Mainly, these part of the female it will suffer in the pelvic inflammatory disease. There will be pain in the pelvic region. So, this is the pelvic inflammatory disease. One more term is given, that is the stillbirth. So, the what is the meaning of stillbirth? The birth of an infant that has died in the womb. So if such type of birth will take place, then it is known as stillbirth, but strictly after having survived through at least the first 28 weeks of pregnancy. So if such type of fetus after surviving for 28 weeks, if the fetus will die inside the womb of her mother and such type of birth will takes place, then it is known as that stillbirth. So in this case you can see that stillbirth, the died baby it will be given birth by mother. Now one more term was given, the complication which will leads to the, if that STD is not treated on right time, it is the ectopic pregnancy. So what is the meaning of ectopic pregnancy? So a pregnancy in which the fertilized egg implants outside the uterus. So generally what we observe that the implantation takes place in the uterus of the female and the development of fetus takes place inside the uterus, but in ectopic pregnancy what will happen, the implantation will takes place apart from uterus, maybe that fallopian tube. In fallopian tube that implantation takes place, and if this pregnancy will continue, then it leads to severe physical damage to the female. It leads to the death also. So here you can see that this is the uterus part of female where the implantation takes place, but in normal case. But in case of ectopic pregnancy, what will happen? Implantation will take place in the fallopian tube. So this is known as ectopic pregnancy. STDs are a major threat to a healthy society. Therefore, prevention or early detection and cure of these diseases are given prime consideration under the reproductive health care programs. So, the reproductive health care programs, the RCH program, which is run by Indian government. So, this STD it is of prime concern. So, for maintaining or for making a healthy society, so STD, the number of STD, it should be curbed, it should be limited, and which is done by Indian government through the RCH programs. Though all persons are vulnerable to these infections, their incidences are reported to be very high among persons in the age group of 15 to 24 years, the age group to which you also belong. So, mainly who will suffer from this STD? So, all the persons, all the male and female, they are vulnerable, they are susceptible for this sexually transmitted disease. But it is observed that in most of the cases, the persons in the age group of 15 to 24 years, so they are most likely to suffer from the sexually transmitted disease. They are the most susceptible for sexually transmitted disease. There is no reason to panic because prevention is possible. One could be free of these infections by following the simple principles given. So there is no need to panic because these sexually transmitted disease, apart from the hepatitis B, genital herpes and HIV/AIDS, all the sexually transmitted disease, they are completely curable if they will be diagnosed earlier and treated properly. So what are the what are the precautions one should take to prevent himself from the sexually transmitted disease? So they are: avoid sex with unknown partners and multiple partners. Second is always try to use protection during coitus, and in case of doubt one should go to a qualified doctor for early detection and get complete treatment if diagnosed with infection. So these are the three basic precautions one should take to prevent himself from sexually transmitted disease. So simply question will come: write any three precaution one should take to prevent himself from sexually transmitted disease. Then you have to write all these 3 points. So this much only in this video. In next video we'll discuss infertility. Thank you.